Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network and welcome to the Core Xfinity presented by Elwood Designs playoffs. That's right, the playoffs start tonight here for Season 5, and we got all our contestants ready to go. The 20 drivers that will be fighting for their division playoffs here. It's going to be 3 rounds of racing for the playoff round, and actually, I need to double check myself on that. It's correct. It's going to be 3 rounds that count in the playoffs out of 4 races. So there's going to be Indianapolis tonight, New Hampshire, Charlotte, and Nashville Super Speedway. One of those races will be a drop race for the drivers, whichever one is the worst, and they'll take their 3 best finishes. And the 3 drivers that are at the top of each of the divisions will move on to the championship round. But we got to start it right here at Indianapolis. Beautiful facility here, 2.5-mile quad oval, and this thing, it may have 4 corners that look the same. None of them handle the same. It's going to really test these drivers, especially to start off the playoffs here. But it's finally here. We'll take a look at the drivers here in a second. But in the meantime, I'll bring in my co-commentator Carl Hammer, joined in the booth by Jimmy Coher. Jimmy, it's time for a little playoff action.
Playoff action here for the Core Series. And in the Xfinity cars, it's going to be an awesome one here at Indy. Definitely long enough to be a Super CB. And I don't know if I had the right setup or not, but it was a little loose.
So certainly going to give these drivers a bit of a test here, and you see the track there. You see the track temperature is not too crazy out here. It looks like 96 degrees for the track temperature, so it should help a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if the setup is already a little bit loose, it could get fun out here, and it could turn some heads around. But again, we'll take a look at the standings coming in, and once again, the drivers that made the playoffs, if they have a win, they get 5 bonus points to start off the playoff round. So as it looks right now, coming into tonight, Alan Elwood has 15 points above the cut line. James Scioly 5 points above the cut line in that platinum. In the gold, AJ Roderick carrying an extra win compared to everybody else, so he's got an extra 5 bonus points. But you take a look at your 20 competitors for the season here, and Jimmy, we got some returning champions. Obviously, last season, Alan Elwood getting the win in the gold division, which is now basically split up into the platinum and the gold, and leading the way already. And then over in that bronze, it's no longer Matt Crockett. He's up into the silver division, but right back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's good for Matt to see him keep progressing. He's been around a long while. He puts in a lot of work, and it's starting to show.
So we'll try and grab some of these playoff drivers before we get to it here tonight, as the drivers are in qualifying right now. And speaking of Devil, we'll bring in our first one that we want to talk to, and that is going to be driver of the number 10, Matt Crockett. Matt, we just got done talking about you, the fact that you win the Bronze Division Championship last season, and looks like might be having some errors, so hold on a second.
Oh no.
Jimmy, can you see the broadcast up?
Hold on.
All right, looks like whatever issues may have just been on my side, but you do have Matt Crockett here in the booth with us. And again, Matt, you come off winning the Bronze Division Championship last season. Now you're up into the silver, right back into the playoffs, though, and looking for going back-to-back here and even stepping up a division. A little bit tougher this season, moving up into the silver, or you kind of finding your footing?
It's a lot tougher.
What do you think your outlook is here for the playoffs? Obviously, we got 4 races here, and then we break off to the championship round. Do you like your chances of getting at least 3 good finishes here?
Hopefully I can get to California, but I have no idea. With Indianapolis, I've been having issues, and I don't know what it is with this track. I'm just not fast.
Well, that's definitely a good thing. You have a one drop race that you guys can use. So hopefully you won't have to use it right away. But I mean, you know, it's always in your back pocket. Either way, we want to wish you good luck before we let you go and get out of here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, Liquid Death, Alpine Stars, Utah Foster Care, Mean Cycles, meancycles.com. If you ride a motorcycle, check them out. Also, SLK Customs. If you have a Honda Fury, check them out online. And you guys, thank you for everything you do.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck out there, and hopefully we'll see you after the race, maybe one of these times.
Yeah, that might be impossible, but I'll try.
That is driver of the number 10, Matt Crockett, as we are getting ready to get this thing underway. So, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of tonight's starting order?
Yeah, quick rundown of tonight's starting order. 29 drivers, and it's going to be Elwood up front with Shayne Therrien, Jack Stoneman, Tommy Ryan, row number 2, row number 3, Bronson Stafford and JP Phelps. Clayton Montgomery and Justin Muncill occupy row number 4. Andrew White and Tyler Scoczen for row number 5. Kevin Foster and Davey Hendricks, row number 6. AJ Roderick and John Nobinger for row number 7. Tyler Bramble, Jeff Ryan for row number 8. Robbie Kenny and Dayton Drummond's row number 9. Jon Crain and Matt Crockett back there on row number 10. Joseph Thomas and Jeremy Gainey for row number 11. Row number 12, James Scioly and Niiko Garcia. Row number 13, Blake Erickson and Joe Sullivan. Row number 14, back there with Joey Cruz and Josh Van Westen. And Luis Orduna bringing up the back of the pack. And you can see there's a few drivers with no times in, and that could just be the car getting loose, tagging a wall, anything, even a 0X will nullify their laps. So if they push it a little bit too hard, could find themselves with a no time to start here. So maybe a rough way to start up their playoff wishes, but we're going to get going here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, we'll try and get. We're going to try and talk to Kevin Foster and Alan Elwood before this race started, but we ain't got no time. It's time to go racing here in the playoffs as the pace car pulls off to the left-hand side and to the pits, and they will drive down to the last remaining bricks here at the Brickyard, and we will see the first green flag of the playoffs. We are racing at Indianapolis. Shayne Therrien and Alan Elwood on that front row, lead them down in turn 1.
Yeah, take them down, and hopefully they can keep it clean, as it's going to be a busy one here tonight. So a little bit too wide all over the place until they start getting single file. You know, as much as the draft can play a big dividend here, you want to get in that single file and just kind of save them tires as well.
Now, the draft can definitely get you some better times. I mean, we talked about that pre-broadcast here. He said how some of these guys were turning some really fast lap times compared to what you can do by yourself. But, I mean, when it comes to the draft and actually passing people here, it seems like it's a bit rough. You can get the draft, you can feel the draft, and you can definitely feel when you're not in it. But using it, even down these long straightaways, to try and finally make a pass and get the lead is kind of tough. But right away, we got a pass for the lead. Jack Stoneman moving around Shayne Therrien, and now down to the inside of Alan Elwood, new race leader already here on lap 2.
Yeah, and the car feels really good on the newer tires. Probably right around lap 8 or 9. They really start coming together where I was able to actually turn some of my faster laps. So we'll see how these guys do once they get a couple of these tires. Yeah, a couple laps on these tires and they warm up.
Good start for Jack Stoneman moving up to the front. Justin Muncill also up 3 spots up into 4th place.
Oh, there goes Jon Crain.
And we do have a wreck at the back. Looks like the 70 involved as well. Take a look back and see what brought this one out. See 3 wide, Crain a little bit loose, a little neck code there between him and the 70 of James Scioly, one of the playoff drivers here. Scioly goes for a bit of a ride. Take a look at that one more time and show you and slow it down here. You see the 11 a little bit loose, and then right there a little bit of neck code contact, helping that 11 go around a little bit more. As 2 playoff drivers right there in the mix. You got Scioly in the 70. You got the 56 right there of AJ Roderick, and he's going to get collected here as well. Jeremy Gainey, another playoff driver, ends up T-boning the 70. So big contact right there. And that's going to bring out our first caution of the race. Certainly some drivers may be needing faster pairs of readies. To see the 28 trying to lock it up and keep it off everybody, but Cruz into the back of the 70. So 4 different playoff drivers involved in this first wreck, Jimmy. It's going to get a little testy here, I think, pretty quick.
Yeah, and right there, just a little bit of net code. Obviously, a pretty aggressive move by the 70 down the inside, but the room was there. Obviously, the 11 getting a little bit loose, but I think the net code kind of finished it off there a little bit. But leader right now is still going to be Jack Stoneman over Alan Elwood and Justin Muncill, and you can see a few drivers coming down into the pits. So obviously, these drivers they get like half a tank of fuel. And they got 50 laps and can do roughly, I think it's like 15 laps, I believe, on a half a tank.
Yeah, so it's going to be real interesting to see how they play out when it comes to the tire strategy here. Obviously, you know, if it's only going to be 15, maybe to 18 laps, depending on caution laps, you're going to need to be pitting at least 2 times to get a new tank of fuel. But, you know, depending on how these cautions fly, when they fly, how do you take those 2 sets of tires? How do you play this whole thing out? You see a ton of drivers coming into the pits this time, and it just leaves 6 cars out there in the track. Stoneman, Muncill, Stafford, Skoczen, Drummond, and Orduna stay out on the track. And you take a look at the timing and scoring tower there, and all the drivers in red are the drivers that have not made the playoffs. These drivers still are in it for the overall standings at the end of the season, but the drivers with the color numbers are the ones in their respective playoffs. So you see the yellowish color is your gold division. You got the blue being the platinum, the silver is the silver, and then the bronze drivers there towards the bottom are your bronze drivers. So those are who is going to be out there and driving and trying to run for their respective playoff championships. But we are under caution here. We're going to try and see if we can get maybe Kevin Foster in here for a second and have a little chat with him while we're under caution. And we'll go ahead and bring in the driver of the number 8. Kevin, do you got a copy?
10-4, I got you.
So, Kevin, we want to try and talk to you before the race. Obviously, that didn't get a chance to, and it looks like we still have you slotted in here as the number 18. I just realized I got to make sure we change that since you are the number 8 out there on the track. But last season, you made your way into the playoffs. It was in the silver division that time, but we shuffled up the divisions, have 4 now, and you find yourself in the gold division. You kind of had an up and down season, but that win certainly helped you out.
Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? Just the first half of the season, I couldn't even, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have had any luck at the beginning of the season. But, you know, just turn it around the second half there. So, you know, especially at Darlington, you know, I led a few laps, made a couple mistakes there, pulled off the incredible win there at Bristol, and really looking forward to the playoffs. And the car's good, and hopefully we can save about 60 more gallons of fuel here and just make it on 2 stops.
So, I mean, last season you battled it out all the way to the end with Jack Stoneman. You came up short. Stoneman missed the playoffs this season in the gold, but you got some heavy competition here. It's not just going to be easy to try and get yourself a championship.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, we're the gold division for a reason. I mean, you know, this is some of the best iRacers here on the service here in the Core Racing League, and, you know, people out there watching, please root for me. But yeah, all these guys are going to definitely make it tough on me, and I just got to be smart, use my head, don't do anything stupid, and hopefully we'll be there at the end.
All right, buddy. We'll wish you luck and get you back out there. Who do you want to give us that shout out to or thanks to before we let you go?
Shout out to Nicholas. Thank you for the paint scheme here, the GFR Racing. Mom, the whole family, wife, Missy, brother, sister, everyone watching, all the fans here at Core. Barry, thank you everyone for tuning in, watching the race, supporting Core, and hopefully we're gonna put a good show tonight for everyone out there, and hopefully be talking to you in just a little bit.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck out there. We'll set you back up. That is the driver of the 8, Kevin Foster, as we're going to get this thing ready to go back racing. And again, caution here on lap number 2 is going to get these drivers a quick little chance to get a breather. A lot of drivers coming down to get some fuel, but it's going to be in control here for Jack Stoneman on this restart. Justin Muncill on his outside, Tyler Skoczen, Bronson Stafford in row number 2 as the pace car is off to head towards the Geico restart zone. And just wait for Stoneman to drop that hammer, and we are back racing here at Indy.
Okay, on the green they go, and another good start by Jack Stoneman. So he wants to get out there and get more laps led. And you can pull away, but with the cautions coming early, you know, a lot of these drivers starting to think about, like, can I stretch the fuel mileage? Can we get bunched back up? Am I going to need to pit? Can I uncheck my tires if I go in this time? So don't want to make any incidents happen if not needed. But good running all the way around right now as Jack Stoneman leads him around this 2.5-mile track.
Yes, I mean, if you're one of the 4 playoff drivers, again, you know, all these drivers do have one drop race that's going to be used. They're only going to take the top 3 points for the playoff round here. But if you're one of those 4 that gets caught up in that lap 2 incident, I mean, does that all of a sudden change your mindset in this race? Do you now kind of think, okay, well, this may end up being my throwaway race, so I got to go harder, or do you play it a little safer if you've already used one of those faster pairs?
Too early for me to throw away a race. I mean, obviously, if I had to use the faster pair, I'm going to go out there and try my hardest. Maybe a little more cautious, maybe a little more heads up. And I know these drivers are probably run their brake bias back a little bit, which is going to make these cars they don't stop as it is. And when you move the brakes to the rear, they really don't stop very well. So, and they do that to help rotate around these corners without any issue. And they should be adjusted as they come into pit, because we haven't talked about it yet, but pit entry is a bit tricky here.
Yeah, you come out of turn number 4, and you got to keep it to the left and get it mowed down quickly, because those cones come up mighty quickly on you, and you don't want to have a caught speeding here tonight. And I mean, it's not a super speedway. It's the length of a super speedway, and again, you will feel when you've lost that draft. So you don't really want to pit by yourself, but it can get hairy. I mean, like Daytona, Talladega, you come in there, 10, 15 cars all at the same time. It's plenty wide entering. You can't do it here at Indy. I mean, you want to come in with friends, but not too many at one time, that's for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin your chances, obviously, and you just got to be careful. And you see really nobody's pulling away from each other too yet. And now you got the 2 up front. You got Muncill and Stoneman kind of but they're smart, work together, obviously, for a little while, and put a little space over Stafford and Skoczen.
Yeah, right now, I mean, these 2 up front, you got kind of a tale of 2 different drivers here. Stoneman just missing out on making the playoff round, but he's still plenty close enough points-wise that he can still fight for the overall championship at the end of the year. So, the season is definitely not over for him. The chance of cashing in here at the end of the season definitely not over. So he's got something to fight for. And at the end of the day, I mean, a win is a win. You want to try and get a win every time you're out there as a driver. And the bonus perk of coming up here and talking to us is obviously there as well. But he's got Justin Muncill right behind him. And Muncill is one of the drivers in the playoffs, and certainly looking to get a win, get himself locked into that championship round. Again, the drivers that win in the playoff round will lock themselves in as long as they race in at least 3 races in the playoff round. So Muncill would like to grab another win here to start the playoffs as coming in here tonight. Did have one, but yeah, certainly the wall is not going to help him get to that lead. As some good battling there, but now he's going to have another battle on his hands to try to hold off Bronson Stafford for second, and not going to do it, as Stafford with a new paint scheme on that 61 looking pretty good up there in second.
Yeah, he definitely changed it up a little bit. You know, maybe look good, go
look fast, go fast.
If you look good, you go fast. Yeah.
Oh, we got an incident back here. Looks like Nobinger into the wall. Gonna keep it straight though. It's not gonna bring out the caution, and Nobinger looks like he's gonna have to limp it back into the pits. Another playoff driver having some issues here, and he is gonna have to bring it into the pits. He's gonna need a caution to get himself back in the mix of this thing. Try and see what might have happened. This is already entering here. Looks like Nobinger loose, tries to collect it, gets it to Cruz. Somehow Cruz keeps it off the wall and keeps it going straight.
A good catch there by Cruz, and obviously Jon just doing everything he could to keep a hold of that 44, but unable to do that, so he's going to bring that down and get some repairs and fuel, and hopefully get back out there, and hopefully that caution comes out and he get back on the lead lap.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy. I mean, there's certain tracks that it feels good leading, and it's obviously you'd rather be in the leader spot than anywhere else. I mean, you look at some tracks like Kansas or Charlotte. It's nice to be out there in front, but there's something about Indy. I don't know if it's just the lore of Indy or what it is, but coming out of turn number 4, see nothing in front of you except those grandstands covering both sides of the track, the flag stand. You cross the yard of bricks, and just having the lead at Indy, it's something about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty iconic. I mean, one of the few tracks, obviously, that's all you see. You got fans on both sides, and it's just, a great sight. I mean, they do obviously run NASCARs here, but obviously more well known for the Indy cars.
And Indy 500 coming up very soon. I'm not sure if it's out this weekend or next weekend. I'm kind of losing track of all kinds of time here lately, but we got
iRacing this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I think it was last weekend and this weekend as they got the fixed and the open. But we got a good race now, and one thing that can happen at Indy, and you're seeing it here a little bit, is the field stretches out a little bit. It ends up forming a couple little pockets, and for the most part it stretches out unless you have some differing tires or a differing strategy that gets you out there. But right now we're seeing a small little breakaway at the front between Stillman and Stafford. Good battle back here as Shayne Therrien goes to the inside now of Justin Muncill, and we're going to have another caution here.
No.
Yeah, yellow flag is out.
Sullivan, Orduna, Jeff Ryan, Erickson, Nobinger again.
And we've got a parking lot on the front stretch. We're going to take a look back and see what happened on this one. This is just Andrew White from pits, so it's not him. Already happened in here, so let's try and rewind it here and see what may have brought this one out with some better camera views. Hopefully, there we go. And this may involve Jon Nobinger again, but this time, I think you're seeing it right there. Luis Orduna up a little bit too wide, coming out of the corner, bangs off the outside wall. You see Nobinger tries to get down below, but ends up making contact. And then Orduna tries to collect it again, but it's back and forth. Nobinger gives one extra shot there. It's certainly not going to help Nobinger get back on the lead lap. Big contact there with the 76 Sullivan. Gainey involved in this one again. That may end up being the race for Gainey, I think, if he used a fast repair ready. But really not much you can do on this one.
Yeah.
Line Evolve, Erickson. Again, another heartbreak of a wreck here for the playoff drivers, and this is a situation here now. I mean, if you're involved in that first one, you don't want to have to use a fast repair right away, but if you need it, you need it. Now, in this one, there's definitely some cars that took some heavy damage that they're going to need that fast repair, but if you already used it, you still have to stick in it. I mean, you've seen some big crashes here already, and it's fast speed here at Indy, so cars can get wiped out pretty quickly. Even if you got a banged up car, if you can get back out there and just, you know, plug in some laps here and there, you never know, you may gain those 1 or 2 positions that ultimately mean something at the end of the playoff round. But we're going to see probably everybody come down pit road this time, as we're on lap 15, right around that first pit stop window anyway. So Jack Stoneman going to lead them down into pit road.
Yeah, it's a tough call here. They had a weird spot to have a caution. So it's not like somebody can stay out there the whole time. So you see the whole field coming in. A colorful pit road here we got going with all the great liveries out there.
Everybody pull into their pit spots. We'll see who can get out there first. Who's got the strategy? Shayne Therrien coming out in the lead. It looks like Tommy Ryan in second. Clayton Montgomery, JP Phillips, Dalton Drummond, and Jack Stoneman going to come out. Looks like the top 5 not going for tires in this one. Getting pretty interesting here, as 6th on back. Looks like everyone's going to be taking tires, except for a couple stragglers here and there. But first set of tires going on a decent amount of these cars. Again, it's only lap 15. So you got to try and make these last until, I would say, probably at least somewhere in the 30s before you take your last set of tires here. But either way, we're under caution here. It is a new leader out front, Shayne Therrien, another one in that Platinum Division. And Jimmy, that Platinum Division, man, I mean, we have a ton of good drivers throughout this entire field, but Platinum Division is just on another level, and they've really been obviously winning races this season, as has not been that easy for anybody outside of the Platinum. I mean, the Platinum has a ton of the wins, but you do have some guys like AJ Roderick in the gold getting 2 wins, Justin Muncill, Bronson Stafford, and Kevin Foster getting wins, but all the rest of the wins going to the Platinum Division.
Yeah, we obviously, as a core has, we separated everybody up, so it gives everybody the opportunity, and they might have actually won the race, but you did win the race if you win your division. So you just have to know who's in your class. So I mean, obviously drivers will just go out there and do the best they can and hope for the best what the results are at the end. But if you're looking like Stafford or Muncill, Skoczen, Foster, Roderick, they're kind of all grouped together right now. We do have a couple newcomers, so it's just a matter of time before they get shifted into their own division.
Well, it looks like we're going to be down to 22 drivers left on the lead lap. Joey Cruz trying to catch up to the back of the pack as the 22nd driver, but Joe Thomas, one of the playoff drivers, already down a lap. Jeremy Gainey still in the pits, down at least 1 lap right now. John Nobinger is in the pits as well. He is down 1 lap. It looks like Erickson, unfortunately, maybe out for the night, as he is down there in 27th, 2 laps down. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting back into the race here, so very well could be his drop race already here on race number 1. But I mean, looking at the rest of the playoff round here, again, it can be a little bit of a tough start here at Indianapolis. It's not a track that a lot of drivers favor. I mean, you either kind of like it or you don't. It's a big track, but it's a bit of a flat track as well. So it takes a good amount of skill. But next week, we really go to a flat track, and that is New Hampshire, up in the New England area, and that is certainly a track that a lot of drivers do not like. A lot of drivers, it's almost short track-esque, and I know a lot of times, Jimmy, you consider that a short track, even though it is a 1 mile track. Not exactly too easy up there in New Hampshire.
No, and the track is flat, and there's nothing to help assist the car except the setup. So without the ability for these drivers to manage their setups to their liking, they have to drive what is given to them. So it does make it challenging.
Green.
You know, I mean, it's almost like I don't know. It's just somebody that has to have the ability to drive whatever. So it's nothing's tailored to them all.
Well, we'll see how these drivers out there with the older tires do now as the restart has commenced here. Shayne Therrien out into the lead. Tommy Ryan, Clayton Montgomery, Jack Stoneman, and the JP Phelps for your top 5. Stoneman is the first one on those fresh tires as they start to spread out here on the backstretch. And so awesome just hearing those cars rip by on that backstretch. Too wide back here with Dalton Drummond's on the inside. Getting a little bit there of Alan Elwood, and now Muncill's going to dive to the inside, as will Tyler Skoczen. Haven't talked too much about Tyler either. Another playoff driver as the 61 there of Stafford brushes the wall. Looks like he's going to be able to collect it, but well, this is starting to amp up here already. I mean, it's only on lap number 19, not even halfway through this race. But again, you see, you know, half the field is playoff drivers. The other half, though, they got, I don't want to say nothing to lose. Certainly they're out here trying to do well also, and then maybe get a chance to get back into the overall standings mix as Shayne Therrien leads this way. But you see on that inside, the 61 of Stafford trying to get on up there and trying to pull Alan Elwood with, but now right behind them, you got a good battle between Muncill and JP Phelps.
Yeah, I see JP out there.
Oh, out there a little too far. That's what turn 4 will do to you. I mean, we haven't talked too much about turn 4, but that thing, it's just the exit turn 4 comes up so quick.
Yeah, it's like, it's obviously a little bit different than 2. But yeah, it just seems like that wall, so it like grabs you. Obviously, you got to get that car rotate, and if you got stuck on the outside, you're trying to get the guy on the inside room to drift out a little bit, so you don't get together. The next thing you know, you're stuck on the wall a little bit. So hopefully not too much damage on that car, and it looks like JP was able to keep that thing going straight. But obviously falling back, another driver out there we know that has the talent to run with the platinum drivers, and coming in late here, but getting some time around these drivers. So hopefully next season we'll be right up there battling for a championship with them.
Tommy Ryan into the wall there a little bit, and now I was kind of wondering and surprised that the newer tires didn't hop up there as quick as they did, but now they see him starting to move up there as the tires warm up and kind of get really nice and sticky out there for the drivers. As Jack Stoneman back to the lead, Alan Elwood right back there in second, Bronson Stafford in third, Justin Muncill, Tyler Skoczen for your top 5. Then you got Therrien, Roderick, Montgomery, Garcia, and Tommy Ryan for your top 10 as Ryan smacked the wall there a little bit coming out of turn 4. It seems to be the biggest spot here, and it usually is at Indianapolis. Out of turn 4, it just, for some reason, sometimes the cars get light and they slide out there. Sometimes they get tight and they slide out there. Either way, you have to really be on your toes coming out of turn 4. That's where we've seen a lot of the incidents here through the seasons, and already see a bunch of drivers smacking that wall on the exit. But good run here now as the newer tires moving towards the front. A bit of a 5-car breakaway as Stoneman leads these drivers off into turn number 2.
Yeah, and with these, they're doing what they need to do. Obviously, Stoneman, nothing to really lose except he's trying to maybe possibly grab that overall championship for the end of the year. So he's still in it for that. Elwood there, he's in position where he needs to be for the platinum drivers at the moment. And then you got Stafford, you know, obviously trying to fend off the rest of the gold drivers to you know, give himself a good start here for that gold championship.
Take a look through the field and see still plenty of battles going on here, but you see the gap forming at the front. The top 5 have walked away. It's about a 2-second gap from Skoczen to Therrien right now as those older tires really not working out right now on this little bit of a longer run. AJ Roderick now, your two-time winner this season in the gold division, is up to 6th place. And for AJ, we haven't had a green flag pit stop yet, and this is playing out exactly how he likes to see it. We had a couple cautions here. He's able to come in there, get a nice free little pit stop, and he is up there running very nicely in 6th. A few cars back from him, we got a heck of a gaggle and a heck of a battle back here. Niiko Garcia back here, and now in 9th, Tommy Ryan slipping back here a little bit to 10th place. But then you got Kevin Foster up in a battle here on the outside of JP Phelps. Behind him, you got Josh Van Westen, and on the inside of Van Westen, you got James Scioly trying to make amends after getting involved in that first yellow of the race. But we are it's about a lap and a half away from the halfway point already, and we're seeing a nice little breakaway at the front, the top 5 walking away. AJ Roderick trying to stretch away from that second pack and trying to figure out how he can reel in that top 5. But he got, looks like Jeremy Gainey has made it back out on the track. He is 1 lap down. Would love to see a caution come out to catch back up to the field and have a chance at getting that lucky dog. But he is in threat of going down a second lap as the leaders are starting to bear down on him.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that yet so far this race. Obviously, I have to deal with lap traffic. We've had 2 cautions, so that's kind of limited. The leaders having to deal with that. But they're going to be coming up on that here. It's not quite, I mean, obviously, if you catch them on a straightaway, it'll be nice and easy, but you catch them in the corners, it can be a little bit difficult. Obviously, even the shortest chute can even be challenging for the drivers to come around. And you know, these leaders are going to want to get around them as fast as possible and obviously clean. They don't want to get collected and something, but Stoneman doing a great job right now, leading over Elwood, Stafford, Muncill, Skoczen. And then obviously back here with James Scioly looking to get around Tommy Ryan.
He's battle for 11th position. Scioly to the inside of Ryan. And looks like he's going to take that place as he is another driver that did take tires on that last pit stop, helping him get up through the field right now. And loving all these green flag laps. Kevin Foster sliding back here a little bit and sliding in front of him. John Nobinger into the wall and right across in front.
Gotcha.
Not sure who he slid in front of right there, but I think that was Dalton Drummond's. But that is going to bring out another caution here, and Nobinger's day is going from bad to worse as he was in the lucky dog position. Not sure if Thomas got around him before the caution there, but if he did, Thomas may have stolen that lucky dog right away. But take a look here at the incident and show you the look here. And I mean, if this isn't a brown pants moment, I'm not sure what is. I mean, Drummond looked like he's going to try and go to the inside, and then all of a sudden, split decision, goes to the outside, somehow gets around the sliding 44.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. It looked like John was actually on the gas to get the hell out of the way. So, yeah, just last-minute decision there by Drummond's being able to get by. So, saved his race from there. He's back there, P number 20, but, you know, lives to fight another lap.
So we're past the halfway point right now, but only just as we're catching up to the pace right now on the backstretch here on lap number 27. The drivers came in on lap number 15. Maybe good to come in here for fuel. I mean, if you took tires in that first pit stop, do you dare take them on this next one? Certainly the drivers that didn't take tires yet, like Clayton Montgomery, Shayne Therrien, Tommy Ryan, JP Phelps, they may be licking their chops at this point. If they have 2 sets of tires still in the pits, they can take 1 set right now, and then they still have that 1 in the bank. Certainly they're going to have 12 lap fresher tires. This could be exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they can go 23 laps. Now, Kevin was talking about that first caution, he needed to save 6 laps. So, that way he only had to pit one more time. But we'll see how things work out here and how Jack Stoneman and gang come down. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to come down and get at least fuel.
Looks like a lot of them leaning towards
And
coming down, but a few deciding not to, as it looks like Alan Elwood is going to stay out here. Maybe he wants that fresh air, see what he can do out front. Bronson Stafford is going to stay out. Justin Muncill, AJ Roderick. Wait, let me make sure again. Yeah, that is AJ Roderick passing up an opportunity to pit under caution. Will this bite the 56? I mean, this is his bread and butter right now, Jimmy.
That means the drivers coming in right now, they're going to have to come again regardless. So I think the ones that are going to benefit that came in, you see Therrien, Scoczen, Stoneman, Ryan, Phelps, Montgomery, all them drivers that didn't take tires. They're going to take tires now, and you know these drivers are out here on about what 10 laps. So it's going to be interesting if they can survive and get around some of these drivers. It's not the easiest place to pass here, so we'll see.
Well, we got a chance. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight for race 1 of the playoffs here for season 5 of the Core Xfinity series presented by Elwood Designs. It's been a thrilling one here, and maybe not the best one for some of the playoff drivers so far, but thank you for tuning in here. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that Xfinity has to offer. As again, this is just the start. We got 4 races here in the playoff round, and then the top 3 in each division will head out to California to the Auto Club Speedway for the championship round finale and see who's going to be the season 5 champions and claim their respective trophies, as it's been a heck of a season so far, but still plenty of racing yet to go. Want to thank our series sponsor while we have a chance here, and that being Elwood Designs, as they have been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012. Specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles, they can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base designs, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simratmarket.com. You can also find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or on X. As obviously a lot of the drivers up here at the front and a lot of drivers in that Platinum division are drivers for ADE, for Elwood Designs, and have those beautiful Simrat Market schemes on their cars. But all these cars also have the decals created by Alan Elwood to help out the series, and we'll take a look at the there you go. You see the little decals there on the windshield of the car. All the cars have their respective divisions. As you see Alan Elwood there in the Platinum division, you look at Bronson Stafford here in the Gold division, so on and so forth. Matt Crockett back here in the Silver. So definitely want to thank Alan for creating all these schemes for all the drivers to go ahead and put them on their cars and look nice and spiffy for everyone out there in the viewing audience.
Yeah, it's always looks good, you know, when a league kind of is organized. it's like you know, being at a baseball game and you know it's just a backyard game or you know a little league game where everybody's got uniforms.
Yeah, and then you're looking, you know, Timmy's got his shirt on tucked, and Johnny's got his he's missing his hat. It's like, yeah, all right, we got the Bad News Bears here. But either way, we'll see what these guys can do in the second half of this race, as we're starting to get to that point here. We got about 21 laps to go here at the line. It's going to be Alan Elwood, Bronson Stafford on the front row, leading this thing back to green, as we've got a big shakeup in the standings from where they qualified. As you got AJ Roderick up 10 spots, Robert Kenny up 12, Niiko Garcia up 18. You got James Scioly up 16, Matt Crockett up 12.
Green flag,
But
green
we
flag.
are watching Alan Elwood back on that loud pedal. He's got some clean air now. We'll see what that 5 can do. We'll see what those new tires can do back in the field. We are back racing here at Indy.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier out in the front. That clean air does a lot here. Obviously, you don't have that dirty air where it's going to make your car real tight. So, like I said, the car was, like I said, the setup I had, so I don't know if I had the right one. It seemed really loose. So by being behind somebody could actually make the car feel better. But right now, these drivers obviously trying to do what they can to get the speed they need to get around. And it's just a matter of time. They got to be very patient. Even with new tires, you have to get that opportunity and let them tires work. But it's a very tough track to pass on.
Robert Kenny in a heck of a battle up here with James Scioly as they battle for 6th and 7th position. The battle's all the way through the field as these drivers with those fresh tires trying to make their way up through as quick as possible. You got Tyler Skoczen came in on lap number 27, didn't take new tires, but he's trying to work his way back up there quickly as well. How about behind him, 3 wide, as we got Shayne Therrien down on that inside, and we will go 3 wide into the corner. Therrien's luckily for himself going to back out of that, or he would have made contact with his teammate there, Clayton Montgomery. Still 2 wide now as he goes to the inside of Jack Stoneman, and now Tyler Skoczen. As Stoneman getting shuffled back here a little bit just did not get a good run through those corners. And now looks like Montgomery thinking about 3 wide himself. He goes to the inside here. Tommy Ryan looked like he was kind of getting him down there a little bit, but Montgomery going to shove it into the inside here of Matt Crockett. Somehow they'll survive that, but now 3 wide. And Crockett's going to get shoved out again, but these drivers, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, if this car is loose, they're not making it any easier. I mean, they're shoving each other around here, and somehow they're saving it. And I think Matt Crockett is stuck again, 3 wide on the outside here. He is not getting any help from these drivers.
Yeah, no love at all for the 10, obviously being out there, and just have to keep hold of it. And what I mean loose is like on the gas. So these drivers should be able to, oh, and there it is.
And there's a big impact there. Huge impact as Scoczen gets sent to the outside wall. Crockett involved in that one. Somehow they're able to drive away as Crockett's going to take a right into pit lane. And he kind of felt it happening there. And again, turn 4 claims another victim as Crockett gets a little bit tight coming out of the corner. You see it right there, just brushes the wall and comes straight across the 55's nose. Somehow JP Phelps misses that one altogether, but the shot right there sends Tyler Skoczen absolutely flying back across the track into Dalton Drummond, who gets hit hard on that one as well. And then Skoczen drifts back to the inside. I mean, I can't believe there's not more damage than that.
Barely missed that one. That car went almost at a 360 in the air.
Take a look here
from Kevin Foster.
From the cockpit of Kevin Foster here. And you see Skoczen. I mean, you can't wear your tires if you're flying through the air, so I guess tire-wise, I mean, that's working out nicely for the 55, but you see right here, I mean, if you're Foster, what exactly do you do here? And luckily, he picks the right call here. As it looks like Jon Crain might have got tangled in that a little bit as well, and you see the damage popping on there on the 11. But Foster certainly making all the fans happy out there. He's got a lot of fans watching out there and sneaks through this one. But yeah, I think this is a well-needed caution for a lot of these drivers. But a couple drivers electing to stay out again as we are getting to that point where maybe you can stretch it out if you pit there on lap number 27 with Clayton Montgomery, Josh Van Westen staying out here. Maybe you have a chance to stretch it out to 23 if you keep getting a couple more cautions. But this is still going to be a heck of a stretch here, as it looks like Jeremy Gainey getting the wave around here, and we'll go back onto the lead lap. But majority of the drivers coming down into pit road. Matt Crockett is showing right now in 3rd, but I believe he'll get, at the very minimum, a end-of-line penalty for coming straight into the pits there when it was closed, and you see him probably slowing down right now, maybe to let the field by. So it should be Shayne Therrien for the first one out there having a pit on this one. And Jimmy, I think from here, you're plenty good to go on fuel, but it's even now it's kind of tight. I mean, it's right there at 16, 17 laps to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to be good to go though, unless we have a green-white checker. So maybe some of the drivers that came in now obviously have a better chance of making it than the couple that stayed out. So we'll see if that Montgomery and Van Westen can keep things going up front. But the other drivers that maybe came in, got new tires, need to be self-aware that them first two drivers did not, and it could spell trouble. You have a platinum driver up there, and you got a silver driver up there. So you have a little bit of a skill difference. So, but for Van Westen, I mean, if anything, he's got 17 spots that is between him and Bramble.
Yeah, it's certainly a dream scenario right now for Van Westen. And really, I mean, the next 6-7 cars behind him didn't take tires on this pit stop either. So it maybe doesn't have an immediate threat, and maybe a quick yellow here, or yellow after maybe 5 laps or so could put him in the catbird seat here for the end of this race. But pace car lights are out. We're going to get this thing back under green as the cars line back up here. It's going to be Clayton Montgomery, Josh Van Westen on the front row, Therrien, Stoneman, and Tommy Ryan round out the top 5. Then you got Phelps, Jeff Ryan, Foster, Garcia, and Elwood for your top 10. Still got 21 cars on the lead lap. Actually, it looks like 22. Trying to see if it looks like Joey Cruz is back out there on the track trying to catch back up to the field here. It's such a big track. I mean, 2.5 miles, you come out after. It gives you a good chance to repair your car if you ran out of fast repairs, or maybe you still have one, don't want to use it. You get a nice long time to repair your car before you pull out, but it never feels like you can catch back up to the field when you come out. Then we see Joey Cruz in turn number 2 here, coming out of 2 as the field enters turn number 3. Should be able to catch back up to the back of the field. But either way, we're going back green here. It's going to be 15 laps to go in the playoff opener.
15 laps to go, and still a lot of driving, a lot of racing to go. It's going to be an interesting one as each of these drivers are trying to start their playoff journey with a good foot forward.
Right now it is Clayton Montgomery that's going to lead them back to the field. Looks like a couple more cars coming out of the pits. I believe that is Jeremy Gainey and possibly maybe Jon Nobinger there coming out, and they're not going to be able to catch up to the field because Clayton Montgomery's back on the loud pedal. We're back racing. Van Westen gets on the loud pedal, but it's a little squirrely in the process. Backs up Stoneman there a little bit, heading off into turn number 1. Montgomery gets a lot better start here as we'll keep an eye on Van Westen, see how long he can hold off these hungry drivers behind him as Tommy Ryan now goes to the inside. He's going to take over 3rd. JP Phelps looking to take over 4th down the backstretch.
Yeah, and JP down the inside, and obviously Van Westen kind of gets stuck on the outside and trying to get a good finish. So maybe just trying to stay out there to stay out of the way.
He's going to pass by Stoneman as well, and maybe can finally slot in there, maybe get down to the bottom, and indeed he will, but only just as he's going to slide up there. Niiko Garcia now to the inside, almost contact off at turn number 4. Again, turn number 4 is just, you got to pay attention. It is absolutely must-see TV in turn number 4. If you want to sit somewhere on the track, that's probably where you want to be, at least virtually here. Turn 4 is just so tough to get through, and now you see that outside line really not working out for Van Westen. He's sliding back further and further, now back to 9th as Alan Elwood gets to the inside. Still going to hold on to a 9th place as they come out of the corner, and there's still a good amount of racing left to go. We'll see where this plays out for him, but Clayton Montgomery leads the way. Shayne Therrien in 2nd. Ryan, Phelps, Stoneman for your top 5. Westen looks like he's stuck on the outside here again now as Muncill gets to the inside off of turn number 4. They're 2x2 behind him, as well as Stafford and Kenny We battle now down the front stretch. The 61 of Stafford now going to move to the inside here into turn number 1 as he's trying to work his way back up to the front of the field. Stafford's looked pretty good this race, and I got to say that if it's a new paint scheme or if it's new lease on life here with the playoffs, he's certainly looking like he's got a fast number 61 either way as he tags on in the back here of Justin Muncill, and these 2 gold drivers look to try and reel in the platinum drivers out there in front, as it's a little bit of a 8-car breakaway at the front, about a second in between 8th and 9th.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the SDK, I've just seen Jon Crain crashed and Matt Crockett entering the pits along with Joey Cruz, so something happened towards the back and brought a few drivers down in.
So Crain already messed up right there. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, Crockett may have had a pit road penalty for coming in, and he may have to serve a drive-through penalty for coming into the pits when it was closed.
Possibly.
Crain certainly had some issues there. He comes into the pits. He's back there now in 25th position and already 2 laps down. Take a look further through the pack here, and I mean, really, you see a lot of the drivers kind of getting into the positions where their divisions kind of dictate, as Van Westen, Van Westen scraping the wall here a little bit. Those tires giving up here a little bit on the 121, but for the most part, you see your 5 playoff drivers in the platinum are running 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, and 8th, and then you got the gold division drivers in 9, 10, 11, 13, and 16. And then you look right here, Josh Van Westen, leader of the silver drivers, still after restarting here in 2nd place, holding off right now. Kevin Foster, Tyler Bramble right there in the 39. He's certainly been caught up in a few things here tonight. He's brushed the wall a few times, but after it's all said and done, he's still up here battling and only 2 spots from taking the top spot away here in the silver division.
Hey, just keep chugging along. You know, obviously some drivers not very great here, but obviously when you're in them lower divisions, you know, a lot of them drivers are probably having the same problems. So that's why a lot of these drivers are grouped together on where they're at, and the system that Dave Tifford, gotta give him a shout out, came up with, kind of creating our own iRating within Core, is giving us the ability to kind of segregate people in their own divisions based on skill. So, and there's obviously a window, like so somebody joins and they're a rookie for 5 races, and then they'll get thrown in. Or if you're in the silver division and you're like beating all the gold drivers, your I rating goes up, or your core rating goes up, and you get moved. So you move up into your division by the halfway mark, and you take most of your point with you. But definitely keep going. So it's just good to see that we're able to find a system that helps people.
Well, it's a system that very few, if not any other leagues have, and it's one thing that is really awesome here in Core. When we talk about Josh Van Westen, he started in 2nd. He's in 15th now, but he's still leading in his division. He's still leading the charge in the silver division. And, you know, 29 cars in this race here tonight, you would think, you know, a top 20 position is not good enough. It's not where you want to be. But right now, in 20th position is Joey Cruz, and he is leading the bronze division right now over Joe Thomas, who is right there in 21st. But both these drivers battling for the Lucky Dogs. But you see Joe Thomas back a little bit further here, brushes the wall unnoticed right there. But I mean, Cruz 20th overall. That's good enough to take the most points right now in the bronze division. And I mean, by the looks of it, he's running a modified out there.
Yeah, Joey's just had a string of bad luck, whether it was his own doing. He's kind of getting involved here tonight. Nothing that I've seen Cruz, you know, make the accident happen, and just kind of, because we've seen him have good finishes throughout the year, even points that he was running with the gold division. So I think it's just consistency.
Oh, we got a wreck in the front here. We're taking out a bunch of our front drivers here. And I believe it involved one of the lap cars here, Jeremy Gainey, late. As the front half of the field gets taken out in this one.
Oh. Wow.
Take a look at this one again as you see the drivers coming out of the corner. Gainey gets into the wall. And then Therrien just gives them a little tap when they're up there. And a lot of our top drivers getting involved in this one.
I think Tommy Ryan just blazed the hole. Watch Tommy Ryan
at that again here. Coming out of the corner, you see Gainey trying to just stay out there, stay out of the way, but turn 4 gets another victim here. And then as Gainey's trying to regain it, you see right there, he gets into the 9 of Therrien, trying to get out of it. And Tommy Ryan says, thank you very much, and just watches all the carnage from his rearview mirror as Therrien, not sure if that's going to be an unsafe entry into pits because only hit the back half of his car was into the pits, so up over the wall. So either way, this is going to be a big one here late. Really going to shift things up and certainly going to see a lot of these drivers here at the front come down into pit lane. A lot of them needing a fast repair, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that 7 will just be happy enough to get back to his pit stall. That thing is smoking and waiting for that thing to blow up. But he may get lucky enough here to get back to his pit lane, get a fast repair, get back out there, not too worse for wear. After it's all said and done, still have a chance to get a good finish, but we are late in this race. It's going to be less than 5 laps to go when we get back started here. Jack Stoneman back to the front of this thing, and Bronson Stafford in second. But how about the man riding these caution flags to a T? It is AJ Roderick running in third.
I mean, if anybody plays a caution flag right this season, it's AJ Roderick.
Everybody should be good to go. If they've already pit on lap 33 or if they're pitting now, anytime from there on out, they should be good to go as Joey Cruz. Not only is he leading in the bronze division, he's going to get the lucky dog here, get himself back on the lead lap, maybe even pick up a few more positions before this thing is over. We've got the top 7 staying out here as Stoneman, Stafford, Roderick, Hendricks, Skoczen, Kenny, and Bramble were the cars that decide to stay out. Again, we just got talking about Bramble as well. He is leading in the silver now by a nice margin over Josh Van Westen, who decided to come in with the pits there. But now Van Westen has got some fresh tires on. I'm sure he feels a heck of a lot better compared to when he was on the outside of the front row for the last restart. He's got some freshies now on that 121. We'll see what kind of damage he can do, hopefully in a good way, all the way through the rest of this race. But Jimmy, it's been a heck of a playoff opener here. Turn 4. I mean, just it's one of those spots where you set up a chair, you grab the ticket for turn 4, whatever it is. That's where the action's been.
Yeah, turn 4 always a troublesome corner here. Obviously, everybody trying to get on it and get down that long straightaway and pushing it out to the wall, and it comes up fast. So especially when the tires are there, and obviously lap traffic or cars not 100% playing a little bit of a play for some of the leaders up there, but that's all it's all part of being a faster driver. You're going to come up on lap cars, you're going to come up on damaged cars, and you're hoping that the driver that's damaged is able to hold their line and stay clear, or move out of the way for you. But you have to obviously take control of your own car, and we've seen Shayne Therrien doing so as he hit the brakes. I seen the front of his car take a nosedive, but there was not a gap there, and ended up getting in the back of Gainey, and just started going the mess, the last mess that we had.
Yeah, and really, there's not much that Gainey could have done. He knew the leaders were coming up on him. He wasn't trying to race him or anything like that, at least from what we could see. He was trying to stay out of the way, but like so many others. I mean, we've seen just about everybody at one point or another either flirt with or get into the turn 4 wall, and unfortunately, he gets into it as the leaders are right there and bearing down on him, and ends up getting a lot of them involved. It can happen that easily and that quickly, and it's a shame for the ones involved, but it's racing. It happens. But we're going to get this thing back under green here, and Jimmy, we're down to the final 4 laps of this race. I know we've had a few cautions here in this race. I know we've had a lot of playoff drivers get mixed up here, but I mean, 20 drivers are in the playoffs, so you're bound to have 1 or 2 involved in every single wreck, if not more. How is this thing going to play out in the end? 4 laps to go. Stoneman back out in front. Stafford has looked strong here tonight as well. AJ Roderick up there with that 56. Davey Hendricks now finally showing that 00 at the front. Tyler Skoczen up there in the top 5. We got a heck of a final 4 laps to go here, and maybe even more if these drivers aren't done yet. But we are back to racing here at Indy.
Yes, Stoneman is going to take quick advantage of being out there as the leader. Get a nice jump out front. He led a lot into the early laps, and now finds himself back in that situation to try to win this thing.
Drivers fighting around 4 positions towards the back of the field. Take a look here at Kevin Foster is towards the back right now. Justin Muncill was up there doing well until he got involved in this last wreck, and now he looks like to be out of this race. So it's a shame and a rough start there for Justin Muncill to the playoffs, but plenty of racing still to go, as at the front of the field it is still Jack Stoneman, but Bronson Stafford all over the backside, and now he's all over to the side as he looks to the outside here down into turn number 1. See if he sticks it out there or if he dives back in line. Looks like they're going to check up, get back in line here beyond the 25 as they'll head through turn 1. 3 laps to go here at Indy. We got a car into the wall, and that is Tommy Ryan, hard into the wall. Not sure what exactly happened on this one.
Bouncing across the track.
But that happened pretty quickly here. We'll see here, maybe we'll catch it here on camera, as it looked to be about 3 wide, and Bramble taking a little bit higher of a line. Tommy Ryan getting into him here. Get you back live here as Davey Hendricks has made the pass for the lead. And we'll show you how this happened while we were taking a look at the caution there. I can find what happened is the question. Oh, it looks like Stafford gets into it. How about shooting the gap as Davey Hendricks to the middle of AJ Roderick and Bronson Stafford, and then right to the lead over 25 of Stoneman. Heck of a pass there and got very close, but now Hendricks looking to check out of this one. Montgomery back into 3rd place. JP Phelps now to the inside of Jack Stoneman as they have got a gaggle behind them. I thought I seen a car going sideways there, but now there's just so many cars under a blanket. And Stafford is getting shuffled all the way back to 61, is free falling right now, all the way back to 13th position. There you see the smoking car there of Tommy Ryan trying to limp it back into pit lane, down all the way to the inside of the front stretch. Scoczen trying to block the 5 of Alan Elwood. Elwood's going to send it hard to the inside here, make it stick to try and get around the 55. And there goes the 25 of Stoneman. I think that was the 25 of Stoneman going across there. Indeed it was.
They're in the wall. Well, white flag.
White flag is out, so this will end up winning it here for Montgomery, as he has gotten around Davey Hendricks here as all this action is going on. And how about Clayton Montgomery making the late pass here on Davey Hendricks, and he is going to drive off into the sunset over across the bricks Clayton Montgomery survives it here at Indy, and he will lock himself into the championship round. He was the leader for a lot of the time in the early part of the season, and it was the one that we said he could get close. He just could not get the win. You got to win at a very important time. You're leading the last lap here in the playoffs. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Davey Hendricks comes home in second, JP Phillips in third. Roderick and Foster rounding out your top 5 in this one. Heck of a finish, and we'll take a look back and see how Clayton Montgomery made the pass here to take the lead. Again, if I can find it, there was so much going on here. But here is the pass as Hendricks hits a little bit wide through the corner and opens up the inside line, coming off into to turn number 4 there, and easy pass actually to turn number 2 there for Clayton Montgomery to take the lead and go on to the win. We'll show you the couple issues here. This is out of turn number 2, or turn number 1. Really not much that the 25 could do right there as he bangs into the wall. And then Shayne Therrien sliding up the track. And as we get hooked into the wall there hard, 34, Robert Kenny getting involved. 44 of Jon Nobinger just cannot catch a break here tonight. This was a rough start for a lot of the playoff drivers here, but not exactly for Clayton Montgomery. Heck of a win here for the 7 as he burns it down here. And he'll get to celebrate here at the real victory lane. I mean, let's be honest, is right there on the yard of bricks. Jimmy, while I take a breath here, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's results?
A quick rundown of tonight's results. Obviously 29 drivers, and Clayton Montgomery walks away the winner here tonight with Davey Hendricks in second, JP Phillips in third, AJ Roderick, Kevin Foster, Niiko Garcia, Tyler Skoczen, John Van Westen, Jeff Ryan, and Alan Elwood for your top 10. And Bronson Stafford, Tyler Bramble, James Scioly, Joey Cruz, Jack Stoneman, Dalen Drummons, Shayne Therrien, Robert Kenny. 19th will be hold on. Uh, 19th will be Matt Crockett, Jon Crain, Luis Arduna, Tommy Ryan, Joseph Thomas, Justin Muncill, John Nobinger, Jeremy Gainey, Blake Erickson, Joe Sullivan, and Andrew White.
That is your 29 car field here, and heck of a start to the playoffs for sure. I mean, it was crazy. There was a lot of incidents here as Indy really claimed quite a few drivers here that were involved in the playoffs, and really it was turn number 4 that absolutely killed a lot of the drivers. Turn number 2 coming in there late with Jack Stoneman getting involved in that one, and this was a rough start, and it's a good thing that these drivers do have a throwaway race. They can still have 3 good finishes here and move on in the playoffs, but it was a good finish for our top 3 for sure. And we'll go ahead and start some interviews here, and we'll start it with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, which is going to be JP Phillips. We'll get him in here in a second. Just trying to get everything set up here. Okay, there we go. So we will now see the 3rd place finisher here tonight is going to be JP Phillips. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take JP?
Hey, JP, Jimmy and Carl, booth copy.
Hey, Jimmy, Carl, how you guys doing today?
Well, welcome to the booth back again, and definitely an interesting race here tonight. Not in a battle for the playoffs, but you're out there to get a good finish here at what can be a difficult track, and you survived. You made it up there to P3, and you walk away on a podium here. And so, obviously, with the season coming down to the end, and probably looking forward to a fresh season where you can battle for a championship again. But definitely a great run there by your number 20. So give us a little rundown on your view of the race tonight.
Yeah, I think survive is the best way to phrase it there. Yeah, just out here trying to run some laps, trying to figure out how to drive these cars with that half fuel, low fuel load. They get really tight. And so we know what we're doing when the next season does come around. But wow, what a crazy race. We Tommy and Jeff and I were talking before the race, like strategizing, thinking that it was going to go green the whole way, because this place usually gets spread out and goes green. So I was shocked as many yellows as we had, and then obviously it just come down to strategy. We had the best, one of the few cars with the best tires at the end. Clayton just got through the traffic a little better than I did, so congrats to him. Pretty crazy race, a lot of fun though.
Definitely a lot of fun, especially up here in the booth to watch. But definitely just good to see that you had a good run out there. And obviously, sometimes as much as you strategize, it just doesn't, work to your benefit. So unfortunately, I seen Tommy tag the wall at the end. His hood went flying across the field. I mean, yard sale for the number 66, but. Either way, you walk away third place finisher here tonight, Indy. So want to say congratulations and give you a little bit of time for any shouts you might have.
Yeah, glad on the third place finish there. Thanks to everybody that showed up and run. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate the show that you guys put on, and thanks again to Jeff and Tommy for letting me hang around those guys. So appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
I will let you go celebrate with your friends and family, and see you next week.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 20 of JP Phillips. Second place tonight is going to be Davey Hendricks. Davey, you had a chance there at the end. You kind of got a nice little gift as they battle it out on the backstretch. We'll go right to that spot. I mean, talk me about the pass down the backstretch. You shot the gap, and then you had a nice little walk right around Stoneman in the very next corner, and all of a sudden you found yourself in the lead.
Yeah, it was nice. Like I saw them hit the wall, but I just didn't lift. Lucky enough that the seas parted just well enough that I didn't kill anybody else and made it through.
I mean, what were you thinking at that point? It was already nice and late in the race. Did you feel like you had a good shot of winning that thing? Obviously, you had your teammate there, Clayton, coming up with some fresh tires towards the end of the race. I mean, did you feel like you had a chance, or were you kind of just feeling like you were sitting duck?
Oh no, I knew. Like when I looked back in the relative and he was still on my relative and got through those cars really quickly. There's no shot. When he even got to me, like I just let him go. There was no point to try and race him because his tires were way newer than mine were. And God forbid I raced him hard for it and then we both die. That's just being a crappy teammate. So I'm glad he got the win. I'm glad one of us got the win because I know a lot of us got taken out and whatever that wreck was towards the end. But yeah, unless he would have had to fight those cars behind me a little bit more, there was no way I was going to outrun them those last two laps.
Well, either way, you come away with a heck of a finish here, and it was certainly a few mix-ups here tonight. Turn 4 was really rough to a lot of the field, and I would say probably about half the field ended up touching Turn 4. It always seems to be the troublesome corner here. I mean, I know there's 4 corners. They're designed pretty much exactly the same. They never ever handle the same, and Turn 4 always just seems to be the one that catches everybody off guard.
Yeah, there were a couple of occasions that people, because I felt like I was mid-pack trying to save fuel almost the whole race because I kept expecting green flag laps and then we never got the green flag laps, so the saving just kind of never mattered. But yeah, there were a couple people that would either fishtail into the corner and bounce off of it, or just I felt like they just never lifted in Turn 4. Would just drive straight into it, bounce off, and collect some people. It was a lot messier than I thought that track should have been for how it handles and how wide it is.
Well, heck of a job out here. You get home in second place here tonight. I know you're not in the mix here for the playoffs, but it's got to feel good to really mix it up with these guys and maybe steal one away here. Regardless, getting a second place here. So congrats on the run here. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Give a shout out to the league as a whole. It's well run. I enjoy being here when I can make it. Alan Elwood for sponsoring the Xfinity series. He's my team owner, so I appreciate him letting me race there under his banner as well. All my teammates that show up every week, we have a good group. I enjoy being around them every every race. It's a fun time in Discord. All the drivers that showed up, everyone watching, you guys up in the booth, and I think that's it.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place again here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, appreciate it.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 00 of Davey Hendricks. Last but not least is going to be your winner, and that is going to be the 7 of Clayton Montgomery.
Hey, Clayton, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. Copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, definitely an interesting one here tonight for sure. But you were able to survive and win the first race of the playoffs. So give us a little rundown on how your race was tonight. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I really use the word survive. I got lucky. That was called a fit storm. Perfect timing for me, I guess you'd say. There were 5 to go. Having an extra set of tires and having my faster pair still there. Really, honestly, that's the only thing that got me the win tonight. I don't know what to really say.
I mean, sometimes a little bit of luck will go a long way, and definitely it's not a bad way to start the playoffs. Give you a good run going into the upcoming weeks, not having to drop the first race. So, I mean, either way, I think there's some good battling out there. Obviously, I think there's some newer drivers out there, obviously, and still learning their way around Indy, and it can be difficult. So, you have a few tracks coming up that can be difficult on the docket as well. But how's your outlook on the rest of the playoffs go?
I might have to miss at least one. I don't know which one. So I really don't know, because I don't know which one I'm going to miss, and it's kind of going to determine the rest of the playoffs.
Well, hopefully it's a track that you don't like, and this win here will help lock you in and possibly bring home that championship for the season. So definitely want to say congratulations on the finish here tonight, and give you a little time for any shouts on that number 7.
Yeah, thank you. Give that shout out to the team, everyone on the EDE, Stimrat Market, VRS, Roderick Racing Development, everybody that throws it in every weekend and every week, and then you guys who do this every week as well.
Well, we appreciate the shout outs. Congratulations on the win, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
That is your winner here tonight, the 7 of Clayton Montgomery. That is going to do it for the first race of the playoffs. Again, first race of 4, as next week we will head to... I lost it there. We will head to New Hampshire for 85 laps of some tough flat track racing up there. Charlotte, Nashville Super Speedway will be the last races of the playoff round, and then we'll have the championship round at Auto Club. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. Once again, thank the sponsors here for the series, Elwood Designs, that they've been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012, specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles. They can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base designs, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simratmarket.com, and you can find Elwood Designs online at Facebook or X. That's going to do it for myself and Jimmy here for the Core Xfinity series presented by Elwood Designs. Playoff race number 1 in the books. Round number 2 comes up next week. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at the track.
Peace.